There are so many people who are in the situation I was in 7 years ago who are just beaten up by life, and they just believe that that's what they're meant to do, to be a blob on a couch, just not taking care of themselves physically or mentally. I became a trainer because I want to inspire other people who think they can't. I first made the decision to become a life coach because I wanted to inspire people. I wanted to help people with self-esteem, those people who have self-love issues. I really want to work with those people to help them build up their self-love, self-esteem, so that they can make it to the next step, to even have the courage to walk into a gym. That person who just doesn't think there's any hope, that there's no point in doing it, or that person that just their nutrition is horrible, so their blood pressure is through the roof, or whatever their case is. I want to reach that person. I want to inspire that person to make one simple change in their life and maintain that change until they're comfortable to make another change, because that's what it's all about. It's about laying a foundation of being 1% better every day that you get out of bed. That foundation to be 1% better today than I was yesterday. Just 1%. That's very, very small. The more people I feel I can get that message out to, I just think we're going to have a better community. We're going to have a healthier community. We're going to have a tighter community, a community that cares about each other. That's what keeps getting me out of bed every day. Your mobility is going to improve. You'll be shocked. I try to eat clean foods. So what I mean by that is as few preservatives as I can get. It's not vegan or it's not paleo or any of that. It's real food. You know, it's chicken. It's raw vegetables that I roast in the oven. Things like that. I eat 5 to 6 small meals a day. I eat about every 3 hours. I rarely go more than 3 hours without eating food. And like I said, my diet is a lot of chicken breasts. It's a lot of green leafy vegetables, very few starches like rices and potatoes and breads and things like that. If I do eat rice or bread, it's a whole grain bread. It's a long grain rice, brown rice, something like that. But I don't eat that stuff too often. I try to eat the carbohydrates that are on the low glycemic index, so they have a lesser impact on my blood sugar levels throughout the day. I take a multivitamin every day. And I take glucosamine for my knees, and that is just about all I take. I do replace a meal every once in a while with a protein shake, but I don't consider that a supplement. That's a meal for me. We don't push a lot of supplements on our client. We don't believe that there is a magic pill for weight loss and fitness. We believe it comes from what you put in your body and what you put out. I work out Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday morning with the leadership team at my gym. The three of us are committed to each other, and we push each other to work harder. My fitness journey began back in 2010. I had just had knee surgery on my left knee where I literally could not put any weight on my leg. I wasn't able to do a whole lot, so in my mind that turned into sitting on the couch all the time and just eating whatever I want and doing whatever I want. And I ended up going to my doctor for an unrelated issue, and my doctor literally looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" And I weighed 308 pounds. Well, I was in the military in the early 90s, late 80s, so it's way different now, I understand. Back then, there wasn't really a fitness mindset, at least not amongst me and my peers anyway. Fitness was probably the furthest thing from our mind, except for when we had to do our yearly PT test, and we all did the same thing. We would cram for it, can we still run a mile and a half? So we would go and practice and work on that, and then we would take our PT test and we would get on a scale and weigh in, and that was pretty much our fitness back then. I think my health was pretty good while I was in the military, although I did gain some weight. But again, we didn't spend a whole lot of time exercising. We didn't really focus on what we were eating. I ended up separating from the Air Force, involuntarily, though honorably, because of my weight. I heard about Breakthrough. My wife had actually joined a boot camp there through a friend of hers. She was in one of these, 90-day boot camp for $99 or some kind of special or whatever, and she would go and she would work out, and I saw results in her right away, in her physical being and the muscles she was building, and I just knew that I wanted to be a part of that, considering where I was at my point in life. So I ended up going to that gym. And from there, I just took off and went crazy. I wanted to become a trainer because I'm just so passionate about helping other people. And I believe I can use my talents as a trainer to help somebody who was in that very situation that I was in 7 years ago. We've gotten such a good response from our clientele in the way that we approach our workouts now, because our clients do feel safe. Of course they're intimidated when they first come in, but by the time they leave from their first session in the gym, they know they found a place that they can come and feel safe without judgment, and they know they're going to get the help they need. And I think the culture that we create by keeping our clients safe and not pushing them to the point to where they're so sore the next day that they can't get out of bed, that's not our goal. And I love the culture that we create, where our clients actually will look to each other and lift them up. When they see that their partner is falling behind a little bit, they become cheerleaders for each other, and they build each other up, and they keep pushing each other and cheering each other on. And I've never in my life seen anything like it. It's not just about me and making money off of my clients. It's more about the client experience and them seeing the results they want. That's what motivates and drives me. I believe it was 2013, my gym, we had a nationally sponsored, was called a Total Transformation Contest. Nationally sponsored, where we could win cash prizes, if you were the most transformed throughout this 10-week challenge. Now at this point, I had lost a significant amount of weight, probably about 50 pounds, but I had kind of stayed there for a while. I was doing what I wanted to do, but I was still making my workout, so I was getting stronger. I joined this Total Transformation Contest on a whim, on a dare almost, and it was 10 weeks long, and we met once a week, every week. It was only like a Tuesday or a Wednesday night. There were 21 of us in this challenge. We decided a couple of weeks into the challenge that we were getting so much out of it that we didn't care if we won, because we just wanted to continue to grow and change and become the people that we thought we were supposed to be. We decided as a group to have a Total Transformation Challenge workout. We just naturally assumed that Chris was just going to run us through the ringer and leave us crying and laying in heaps of sweat on the floor. In reality, what it was, Chris had literally drawn a line down the middle of the gym floor. On one side of the gym, he had written where you are now. On the other side of the gym floor, he had written where you want to go. We lined up on the side of the gym that said where you are now. Then we would walk across the line to where we wanted to go. And then we would do exercises for what seemed like forever. And I'm talking like burpees and mountain climbers and jumping jacks and high knees where you couldn't walk, you had to jog the whole time. And we were shoulder to shoulder along the gym floor, and it was really all about just picking up the person next to you and not letting that person stop. That was the whole idea behind that workout, was to pick up your neighbor and not let that person stop. We came across the line and we did our exercises forever, and we all got up and we kind of celebrated a little bit, and everybody just naturally walked back across the line. But I didn't. I stayed right where I was. And Chris looked at me and he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Chris, I'm not going back. I don't need to go back over there, because I'm not going back." I said those words and I meant them. That has been my daily affirmation since I said it that night, that I'm not going back. I'm not going back to the person who was 308 pounds. It's not just about going back to 308 pounds. It's about not going back to that person. I'm not going back to that person. No matter what I weigh, I will never be that person who thinks he can't. I will forever be the person who knows he can. That I just have to try. I just have to keep pushing. That is my daily affirmation. I wake up every day and I say that to myself, you're not going back. I know there's a whole lot of people I still have to inspire.